Shout out to the real. Shout out to the fake. Shout out to that nosy chick. She better stay in her place. Get it live. Hook. Shout out to the real. Chris Siders is here. I'm about to say the outsiders.
What's happening?
Damn, he's out in Cali. He's been all over. And this is a different kind of artist we have on this platform. I have not had artists like this yet, and I can't wait to get his take on hip-hop and how he feels and where he fits inside of hip-hop. So shout out to the real Chris Siders. How you doing? We going up in this bitch.
Yo. First and foremost, shout out to God and shout out to the real. You know what I mean? Shit, I feel good. I feel good. Fresh off of my first international tour. That's crazy. And my first time ever going outside of the States. I've never been outside of the States, let alone barely go outside of Cali. My first time outside of Cali was like last year for my first Seattle, we hit Reno and Portland, and yeah, just all over the West Coast. But I'm feeling good. I'm blessed, definitely.
So hip-hop has done this.
Hip-hop took me out of the country. And see, that's the thing with a lot of people. That their art can't take them to different places that they never dreamed of. You know what I mean? And I'm a solo artist. This was all done independently. I don't have a major backing. I have my manager and like a really small team, but we did that. That's just us. So imagine when we actually get to the label. You know what I'm saying? Or shit, even if we just stayed independent, we could do this by ourselves. Who said we can't?
Nobody say you do that, but I want to know how you did it.
Right.
So, okay, yeah. So what happened was 3 years ago, this story actually happened 3 years ago. I was part of a music group, and we was like a West Coast Wu-Tang. We had like, 12, 15 members, but then it dwindled down like over the years. And then our engineer that was engineering our albums, he was messing with an artist out there in Europe, and somehow they got a hold of one of our songs, and it was like, yo, they're dope. Y'all should bring them out there. And this was in 2020. January 2020. But then the pandemic hit. The world went to shit. Nobody didn't know with COVID and everything. And so we had to postpone it. And then 2021, no one didn't know what the world was going to look like. And my group, we officially artists, and I'm trying to figure out things on my own. This is before I had a manager. This is before, you say what?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Breaking up? Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, bet. So this is 2021 now. And my music group, it broke up, and now I'm a solo artist, and I'm trying to figure out how to maneuver and go about the business. This is before I got a manager, and I just had one project that I recorded, and I was preparing it to release it the following year. And with that, I went on my very first independent tour. I put everything together, all the hotels, and then Chris Day, December, called me and said, "Hey, are you still interested?" What led us to a few weeks ago where I opened up for Westside Boogie. Shout out to Westside Boogie. He's signed to Laverne, works with Eminem, and also open for Mayhem Lauren. And I had my own feature show. So that's kind of how all that happened out in another country.
Shout out to the real. You have to tell me that again, because He broke up.
Still broke up? Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, when you was talking about
Damn, what?
you was getting into the meat and potatoes of the story, we couldn't hear it.
Damn. Okay. Is it still crazy?
It depends. When you talking, it just starts cutting up.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Damn. Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. Huh. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. All
Bring it
right.
on, Billy.
I bet. So January 2020, I was part of a music group, and our engineer, who engineers our albums, was already messing with an artist that was out there in Europe. And somehow, someone out there was like, "Hey, get these cats out there." They heard one of our songs, and so, but that was in 2020. So like the pandemic hit and it messed up everything. Then the following year, my group broke up, and I was trying to figure things out as a solo artist. I didn't know like how to regain those connections and everything. But until what, last December, on Christmas Day, they called me and said, "Hey, are you still interested in coming out?" And that led us to last week. No, not last. Few weeks ago, where I opened up for West Side Boogie, who's signed to Laverne, works closely with Summer Walker, and works closely with Eminem. And I also opened up for Mayhem Lauren, who's Action Bronson's best friend, and I had my own solo show. So I had a total of 3 shows in 2 weeks while I was out there, and all thanks to Hip Hop Zoo. Hip Hop Zoo brought me out there. They're wonderful group of people, and yeah, that's kind of the story. Like it's really a like who you know type of situation, and people believing in your craft and your music. So never stop creating and continue to flourish those connections and
And
be a genuine person.
what kind of vibe did you get out there? How was it? What the hell? What was going on out there? What was you doing?
Out there, man, it's really peaceful. Like for my first time outside of the US, it there was no crime, nothing at all. I only saw the police like one time my entire 2 weeks I was out there. Nobody was getting jacked or nothing. I didn't see nobody fighting. And I went to the club like a couple times, and the people are just fucking dope. um, there collaborated with a few artists as well. And just rubbed elbow people, and yeah, I really just took some time for me because I had a hectic year with losing my pops on Valentine's Day earlier this year and losing other family members. So I had some time to really decompress and kind of get myself together before coming back to the States.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You lost your pops,
Yeah.
and pops had a big impact on your life and in your rhymes. I hear you talk about it a lot. Talk about your father, what he meant to you, and what life showed you. I've seen the story where you talked about you got stuck up at the age of 12, which is kind of crazy because I want to know what the hell they was trying to take, some candy, what they try to take your coat or something. So that's a crazy story to be stuck up at the age of 12. And those motherfuckers are some foul people. So talk about that, the impact of your pops, or his life and how it impacted you.
Man, that's Killer Cali for you. Like it ain't no game out here with the gang lifestyle and whatnot. They don't care how old you are. Like they will stick you up if you wear the wrong color at the wrong time in the wrong neighborhood. To clarify with that story, I was wearing black and white, so I was wearing neutral colors, but wearing all black in a particular neighborhood that can signify for certain Pyru and Blood territories. But I wasn't in those areas at the time. And yeah, just three grown ass men. Like they looked like they was in like early 20s and I was 12. And they stick me up for my phone, an iPod, and some money that I had. And so and at the time I didn't really know like too much about gangs, but my folks, they put me in a school where I had to get street smart and I had to understand like where I'm at, what colors not to wear, not to react. You got to respond to situations. A lot of people like to react to situations um versus like properly like choosing your battles. And that's something that will actually save your life out here in LA. And so with that situation, I responded. I didn't react. And I called my pops. My pops and my cousin was the first people there. And yeah, police never caught them. Of course, you know, it's police. They don't give a fuck. And so yeah, that's a perfect illustration right there of like the type of character my dad is, because he was the protector of the family. At 16 years old, he went into while in high school to make money and then worked himself up the ladder up until my sophomore year of college. He was born in 19. That's when he was working in a grocery business. He took care of my mom's while she was going to college. You said what?
Got to bring it back.
Got to bring back. Okay. Can you hear me?
Every time you get to the good shit, it's start breaking up.
Okay.
Start with
Can you hear me now?
You said the father went to the something.
And then it went dark.
And then it went dark.
Got it.
Start at when he was 16.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, when my pops was 16, he worked in the grocery business, and he just worked his way up the ladder until my sophomore year of college. And through that, he took care of the family while my mom went to school, to college. And he was the hardest working man I know. He would get up at like 3 a.m. to get to work at 4 a.m. and then pick me, my sister, and my brother up from school at 3:45 every day. Sometimes go to the arcade after that, so then he'll spend time with us and like just to develop a relationship with us, and then take us home, help us with our homework, and then get ready for the next day and go right back to sleep and rinse repeat every day, 24 hours. And you know, he's really one of the greatest to ever do it. He showed me how to really be a man and put family first. What's really eerie was that a month before he passed, he told me like, "Hey Chris, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here, so I'm gonna need you to look out for your mom and your sister. Like really look out." And then a month passed, he passed away. And you know, actually have his ashes right here. His ashes is in this little football. He's a 49ers fan. So yeah, everywhere I go, I have this chain on me. So
how did he pass away?
He had an accident. He fell. I was in North Hollywood DJing for a friend's birthday. And I went and crashed at my friend's place in West Hollywood, and we was up until like 4:45 in the morning just talking about life and things and relationships. And I got a call from my sister saying, "Hey, come back home. Dad had an accident," and she was in tears. So on my way home, and everybody's at the hospital, head to the hospital, and yeah, he fell, hit his head, and he had a blood clot, and he lost entire control of his body, and he was unable to move. He was unable to talk. He kind of just fell into a coma in about a week, in a week and a half. Yeah, he passed away.
Wow.
That's a sad story. So he said that to you beforehand, and the death was unexpected. So you wasn't even really prepared for that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild how life like. It just went out again. Yep.
You see me do
all
this?
The good parts.
All the good parts.
When you see me do this, that's what that
means. You got it. Because it froze when you just damn. So basically, what I've grown to realize is that these are all tests from God. You know, before my dad sat me down and had that conversation, I went through a really bad, abusive breakup. And I was trying to get over that. And I was knee deep into my second tour, actually, when Pops passed away. I was supposed to be going to Portland the next day. And my family was standing there in the hospital room like, hey, are you going to go to Portland still? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to still go to Portland. Something my pops always told me is that never let anybody fuck with the money. I don't care who it is. Don't let anybody fuck with the money. So taking those lessons, I was like, fuck it, I'm still going out here. I'm gonna make this money, and then I'm gonna keep the legacy and the impact of my family's name out there. You know? So actually that night I had a show, and I actually went out and performed, but after I was done performing, I had a breakdown and I couldn't bring myself to go to Portland. So I rescheduled, took a week off, but I was right back at it. I hit the road. I went to Washington and Reno and different parts of the West Coast again. And yeah, just kept it pushing. And I made a project within a week. And I think it's one of the most healing projects I've ever done to date. Because I was so full of grief, but it just came out right.
So we talk about grief, and then you talk about an abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
So in this relationship, a lot of things happen where I'm not gonna put their name out there or anything like that. Because like we're reconciling right now. But it got to the point to where things were said and on their end and made threats, verbal threats that was borderlining on physical threats. And me being a black man, a big black man at that, that could easily get misconstrued, you know what I'm saying? Like this person's of a different ethnicity. So if she were to go to the cops and me raising my voice to defend myself, it would be an issue. Because LAPD, they don't listen to us. So yeah, just the trauma from that of trying to communicate and de-escalate situations. I had to like really like again respond versus reacting. Yeah, so that was a yeah. This it's a lot to get into. It's really hard to talk about, but I made an album about it to really process like what happened. And things just kind of just went from 0 to 100 real quick. I didn't see none of this shit coming when it came to her threatening to. Went out again. Went out again.
Yeah. We gonna have to edit this thing and put this back out. Yeah, we got to edit it.
Damn.
We have to take it down and edit it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So when you was talking about the abuse and you didn't see it coming, how long was you in this relationship?
For a few months.
A few months.
Yeah, I was. But like the trippy part about it was there was no issues, or at least I didn't catch him at the right in the beginning, because y'all know the concept of love bombing, right? When someone's just like head over heels with you and they just say, oh, like you're the greatest, and kind of just idolizing you.
Too perfect.
Yeah, like too perfect and everything. I didn't catch that at the beginning. I thought like, oh, like she just like really loves me. But then looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, a lot of that is like very unusual. None of this like makes sense. And so then it hit a certain point where we got into one argument, and then I thought we resolved it. And based off that one argument, she breaks up with me. I'm like, that's so weird over something like so small. And we didn't speak for 2 weeks. And then we tried to reconcile and put up boundaries, but then those boundaries didn't like really, they didn't hold at all. We said like, hey, let's not like message each other for like, let's limit the messaging and let's see each other once a week. Literally not even 12 hours later, the next day, phone blows up. Texting each other all the time. And then we saw each other, like 3 times that week. We recorded a song together, all this different stuff. Spent Christmas together, like Christmas Eve and like the day after Christmas together. And shit just like went downhill.
But why wasn't that good though?
It wasn't good because
not being able to stay away from each other.
It wasn't good because the lines got blurred. Like it wasn't a clear indication of like, hey, are we friends or are we something more? You don't want to be friends. I'm still stuck in these feelings, but however, these ideas that you have of me staying at your crib, sleeping in your bed with you, going to the beach, walking your dog, like these like little getaways with just both of us, just us both, don't make sense. Like let's say like your girl breaks up with you, right? And it's like, all right, we're trying to make up these boundaries, but then every single boundary got broken. And then you're over there late night just watching a movie, just some innocent shit, and then you stay and you sleep in the same bed. What would you say is going on?
We together. We back together.
But in her head, what I gotten was see, none of this makes sense.
No. So what you got in your head, that's the last thing we heard.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but then having conversations with her, she's thinking like, yeah. So it's a whole mind game.
We didn't hear it. That's what I'm trying to say. We didn't hear the part.
Oh,
we might have to go to IG, man. We might just take it to IG right now.
You didn't?
We didn't hear it. We didn't hear the good part.
Damn. Okay, all right. I'm gonna rewind back. So, your ex-girl It's supposed to be your ex.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, yeah. She invites you over. Y'all doing like Christmas activities together, but y'all broken up. Y'all just trying to keep it cool.
And she's sticking to that.
She's sticking to it. Y'all watch a little Christmas movie, all innocent, everything's cool, roommates there, dog and everything, everything's chill. It gets late, then you're like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like, I can't be staying here. Then she begs for you to stay. And then you stay and y'all sleeping in the bed together. Now, what is the relationship now?
That means we back together. We making things work.
In her head, she told me no.
That's some real nigga shit.
Yeah. See, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Like what you mean? Like, I'm sleeping in your bed and other shit, and then like we go on these getaways with just us both, but then what exactly is going on?
And she's expecting this. She's expecting this stuff to keep going.
Yeah, she's expecting me to be like, just to be okay with it. And it's like, we're spending how many hours alone and just talking about life, walking along the beach shore and like walking your dog and all this other stuff, and expect me to not question it?
I feel you. Like, what the fuck is we doing?
Exactly. So then, like, it's them mental gymnastics, emotional mind games, and then one day shit just hit the fan where like I'm getting cussed out and a whole bunch of other shit, and it's just like, all right.
Why would she cuss you out? You was dealing with something else, or it was just some internal shit?
Internal shit. Internal shit. That's what it kind of came down to. And it was just like, again, like, what the fuck are we doing? So then, yeah, we didn't speak for a while, and she heard about my pops. She came up to the hospital. She was nice to the family, and helped out the family. She gave my folks some flowers and everything. Respectable. She definitely did the right thing. And it's stuff like that that's like, all right, like, let's try to find a middle ground. Like, we just cool and we friends, or we back together? Because I still want you, but I don't know what you want from me. Like, if you just want one thing, I'm happy to give you that one thing, but you gotta let me know. I'll be on some nigga shit too. Like, we could play that game. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So, did you love her?
I love her. No, I 1000% love her. Like, this is no bullshit. I I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like, I'm kind of a simp, yo. Like,
oh shit.
Hey, I love my women. I love my women, man. So like, well, but I refuse to get walked all over. That for sure ain't gonna happen.
Is it love her or in love with her? There is a difference.
Whoo, yeah, that's big.
Okay, be a little bit of both too, though.
I would say it's a mixture of both. I would definitely say it's a mixture of both. When I was knee deep in the shit, I would definitely tell you I'm in love with her. Right now, it's definitely a mix of both. I have love with her, love for her, because like, I understand we human beings and we're gonna feel a whole bunch of different emotions. Shit is just gonna get fucked up. We ain't gonna see eye to eye and whatnot. And I gave her my word as a man, like, hey, I'm all in. And once I say I love you, that's just gonna be for life. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna help you out. But again, once again, I'm not going to get walked all over like that. That is not gonna happen. And I would say I'm in love with her because she really helped me open up and be vulnerable. And that's a conversation amongst men that we don't have that often. You know, the concept of emotional intelligence to identify like when we're angry, when we're grieving, when this, that, and the third is going on. All right, we're grieving. What does that look like to us? Do we isolate? Do we stay by ourselves? Or do we go out there and like rob a motherfucker? Or do we, do some stupid shit? So for me, in certain spaces, that's what that relationship actually, it helped me trust people more and open up more. And it's just really ironic that like it helped me do that, but then when everything happened, it made me like kind of close off a bit. So it's definitely a lesson for sure.
You still talk to her?
We're reconciling right now, as friends, and I'm trying to. It's the same lesson of like trying to, trying to trust her what she's saying, that she just want to be friends. Like, okay, and like this is an issue with myself. This isn't an issue with her. Like, at a certain point in our lives as individuals, we gotta be like, hey, I recognize the world is crazy, but am I contributing to the chaoticness with my behaviors? So I recognize the chaoticness with my behaviors because I'm so paranoid. I'm so damn paranoid about what's gonna happen outside. Literally, what, a week ago, I got into a street fight. I was walking down the street and some dude was walking down a hill, and this was like really early in the morning. There was no one around. I was just walking to my homie's place, and this dude comes down a hill. I look to my right. He sees me. He's wearing a hood, and he's come charging at me. And I didn't know what he had. I didn't know if he had a gun. I didn't know if he had a knife or whatever. And I just took off running. And I'm running. Called up the homie, and he met me at a corner. And then we wait for dude to come out the corner, and we had to fight him. Mm. And that's what it's like in LA. Like everyone, like if you out here long enough, the streets can fuck with your head. People could really fuck with your head, especially in the music industry. People will fuck with your head, and you kind of grown this mentality of like, I gotta defend and protect my heart at all costs.
Mm. So
when it comes to love and relationships, no, you got it.
No, so being that we missed half of that, so y'all got into a fight. Did y'all fuck him up?
Oh yeah, no, we fucked him up. I got him a couple times in the stomach. My homie got him in the face, and he left us alone. Whatever it was, he kept screaming that like, you stole my phone. You stole my phone. I'm like, nigga, what? I never met you a day in my life. What do you mean? The fuck is that? Like, so
he thought you was somebody else.
Yeah, and that's why I don't know what the hell he thought. And that's why I'm talking about, that paranoia. I bring that bullshit paranoia to my personal life, those external factors, and that's what could contribute to the chaoticness in like these love relationships, these romantic relationships, these business relationships, and my family. So yeah, yeah.
You look like Young Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm talking to him and shit.
You feel like what? Because of the hair?
I mean, the whole look kind of, man. The hair too, but maybe the shape of the face, maybe the shape of the head. I got the same type of head, but you kind of resemble him a little bit. I feel like I'm talking to him right now. He kind of has a different way of speaking, but he's kind of different too. And let's talk about that. When you talk about the music, what kind of genre are you entering in? Because I see a whole bunch of different stuff sometimes, and I don't know where to put it at.
And that's great. I don't want people to know where to put it at because people don't know what they people don't know what they want until they hear it. That's the reason why all these playlists exist because they I'm the type of person I love music so much to where I'm gonna just put on the album and I'm gonna just let it rock. I'm just gonna sit there, I'm gonna listen to it, I'm gonna enjoy it. But a good 90% of the population, they gonna hit that Spotify playlist and then like whatever song comes on that catches their attention. So with me, I'm gonna give you a variety of different things. So of course, under the hip hop genre, my main focus as a rapper is storytelling. I'm gonna give you a story. And there's this conversation coming about right now where rap ain't exciting no more. And like, and the reason why rap ain't exciting anymore, who's telling stories? Can y'all name me a rapper of this new generation right now that's actually telling a story? Who? Exactly.
Got me there. Got me there. You got me there. You had might have had a King Vaughn at one time, but his story is a little bit different. He was like the storyteller of the I guess the drill hip hop scene, and he's gone. But you got a point. You got a point. You got a point. And that's gonna be the clip. We're gonna lead it off with that. We start promoting this joint. That's right. People are not telling stories. And not only that, people are not digging into, you know what I'm saying, themselves as a person, I believe. You know what I'm saying? We too busy trying to, do what's on social media or whatever the case may be. We're not digging to the artistry. I'm not to say they can't. I'm saying they're not doing it. They're just not digging into the artistry because they think people don't care about it.
Yeah, that exactly. And is that and also the soundscape. Everybody's rapping over trap beats. I mean, like, look, I ain't hating. I ain't on my old man shit. I mean, hey, Nas is one of my favorite rappers. I'll bump Illmatic all day, every day to this day. King's Disease 3 is fucking crazy. That should win a fucking Grammy. I know it's nominated for a Grammy right now. But people aren't trying to evolve the soundscape. Like, and that's what makes it boring. Like, Joe Budden said it like on his podcast about the Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B record, that it was almost like a carbon copy of WAP. The new record, Bongos, is just like WAP, but just in like a different way. And it's just like, all right, how many more records of that are you gonna just like pump out? I get like it's a club record. Clubs is just meant for everybody to have fun. But when you're gonna come up with something innovative, and like that's the issue right now. No one's being innovative. No one is arranging the sound.
I agree with you there. So when you talk about Nas being one of your favorite artists, who else? Give me your top five.
Top five. I'm always the type of person to be asking these top five lists. Now it's so awkward,
I want to know because you're so well versed, and I want to know, what I'm saying, what you was listening to, what. All right, give me your go-to albums growing up. Then
my go-to albums growing up was Illmatic, Nas, Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor, and Lupe Fiasco's The Cool. I like The Cool better than Food and Liquor. I'm gonna die on that hill. I know a lot of people's like, nah, Food and Liquor, nah. So Kanye West, Late Registration. That's my favorite Kanye album. I don't think, other than Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Oh, damn. It went out again.
We didn't get none of
Went out
that.
again.
We talked about late registration, Kanye, and then you said other than beautiful, dark, twisted fantasies. And that was it.
Went dark.
Okay. Got it. So I said, other than beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy, I don't think nothing top late registration. Late registration is my go-to Kanye album.
Is that the is that
what else?
That's what Gold Diggers and all that?
Yeah, Gold Digger, Touch the Sky,
That was
heard him say.
album. That was a hard album.
Yeah, like
that's what I knew he was here. I was like, oh shit. That's that joint.
He had We Major on it. We Major and Hey Mama. Those alone. Like, what other Kanye album is that heartfelt?
Yeah, that's it. That was the one. That was what, 05, 06?
Yeah, that was 05.
Wasn't his mom died?
His mom died years later. It was after graduation.
Graduation?
Yeah, and that's how 808s and Heartbreak came about, because that was about his mom and his breakup with his girl at the time.
Yeah, his mom died in 07. That's what they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So when you talk about hip hop, what do you get into now?
Who I'm into right now? Kendrick Lamar. To Pimp a Butterfly is still my favorite. And Mr. Morale. I like Mr. Morale a lot. Damn. And who else am I listening to? J. Cole is dope. I listen to Cole.
I can see that.
But damn. I mean, I'm trying not to be the cliche rapper of like, I don't listen to a lot of rap nowadays. Only be when I'm not again. Oh, okay.
You back.
Can't hear me. Still can't hear me.
I listen to a lot of rap.
Yeah.
Well, this is good. I like this conversation, so we got to chop this shit up and we're gonna put it right back out.
For sure. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, I was saying, damn, you still can't hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, yeah, Kendrick, Cole, but I don't want to be one of those cliche rappers that's like, rap music and shit like that, but I don't listen to too much rap nowadays. And that's because right now I'm trying to focus on my performance aspect, where I've been incorporating a 3-piece choir and a live band. And so I'm listening to a lot of soul music and a lot of different genres of music to incorporate into my live performances. And that's another thing with rap. We don't take the time out to learn how to perform. Like, let's be real. Everybody go out there and do some damn karaoke. Like, just put the damn track on Spotify and shit, and just like Mariah Carey on Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. Right, people definitely don't perform no more. It's kind of boring. It's boring. They don't do a lot of the stuff a lot of artists we grew up with do. But we had those artists too that stand around and do nothing. But when you talk about a performance style, what would you say your style is like?
Tyler, the Creator. Tyler. Like, he adds a lot of set pieces to his work. Like, he just had this like festival this past weekend where he had this backdrop of a car junkyard, and on stage there was like a busted car, and like he was performing on top of it, next to it. And like at the end of the set, he brought out like a flamethrower and some other shit too. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, it's wild and crazy, but like, he's giving a show. He's giving you a performance. And he's rapping all of the words. Yeah, it may not be perfect, but he's again giving you a performance in a show, and a lot of people are just too afraid to step outside of themselves to give you something.
Mm-hmm. Chad, you got something?
Give me 3 producers that you would like to work with.
Ooh.
If you had a chance.
Soundwave from TDE. Kanye before Pablo, and Kanye around the Donda era. I know that's like that still counts as one, but I just got to be specific with the eras. And I would say Dre, Dr. Dre.
I was waiting for that. I was gonna say, you from LA for real?
So, yeah.
Oh, of course. Hey, the home team.
You ain't said a lot about the whole team today. That's why I was like, you know what I mean?
What you mean? Hey, yo, man, I got the home team only right now, Lakers. What are you talking about? Like,
Shout out to the real. I'm a Laker fan myself. I'm a Laker fan myself. But when you talk about, you said, you know, pre Pablo, Donda. Why'd you put that out there like that?
I
Because
feel like,
he went off the cliff.
yeah, I honestly didn't really like the albums after Pablo, and Donda was a really beautiful piece of work. The production on it, just him talking about his relationship with God, his mother, and um and just sonically, it kind of took me back of like, oh, Kanye is back in his bag. Like he's not playing around. He's focused. Is it a perfect album? No. However, it made me feel something. Rap albums nowadays are making me feel something. Again, the stories, the sound, nothing is making me feel like, oh man, like I gotta like hit replay on some of these songs and like really understand how he arranged this, how he did that, what he's rapping about in X, Y, and Z. So that's why I said, yeah, Donda and pre Pablo. Yeah.
So do you produce some of your stuff?
Oh yeah, I produce majority of my music by myself.
Mm-hmm. What do you use? What instruments you use? You use anything, everything? You play instrument?
Nah, I don't know how to play an instrument. However, I use Fruity Loops, FL Studio, and my home. Damn, again,
Oh,
again, again, again.
It
Fruity
wasn't that
Loops.
bad. It wasn't that bad.
Fruity Loops.
Okay, yeah, Fruity Loops. Yeah, FL Studios to produce, and then now again, I've been working with like this choir to add like different sections to the songs and other like instrumentalist artists and whatnot to add like guitars or strings and uh different things that bring out the emotion in the beats more instead of just some regular kick, snare, drum, hi-hat, sample. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you need minimalistic things to really get the story out and let the lyrics speak for itself. But sometimes as rap artists, I kind of feel like we neglect how much the music itself could bring out the emotion. And I think that's the genius of Kanye and Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He brought you into a world and makes you feel something. You can't tell me you don't feel something when you hear that first piano note on Runaway. That
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
yeah, so we need and that's what I aim to do with my projects moving forward is add a level to emotion to the music rather than just my lyrics.
All right. So talk about the sunset for the deceased.
Sunset for the Deceased. Oh man. That song was off of my one of my most recent projects, The Emancipation of Chris Siders. And that's about all the people that passed away in the past 3 years. And actually said their names, but it's kind of coded in like double entendres. Like my cousin Symphony, she passed away in March. And I spoke about my father who passed away as well. My brother Evan, who passed away to drug overdose in 2020.
And you passed
Um,
away.
you said what?
You passed away too.
I did. I did. I passed away from COVID September 2020. And then I came back. And this is my testimony to God. Is no way I was supposed to walk out of that hospital. There was no way. And on my third day there, um, everything just went blurry and I was freaking out and everything just went black. And I don't know how long I was out. I saw pink, white, and blue lights. I don't know what was going on. And then I just came back and I felt a needle coming out of my neck, and they was about to put me in like on a ventilator, and that would have been it. That would have been done. And but God got me. And the next day, they said, "Hey, yeah, I'm fine. What's up?" And they said, "Oh, we just noticed that. Damn, it went out again."
You're
Now you
back.
good. You good. It came back.
Okay. Okay.
Now you're gone.
Next me- the next day in the hospital, um, the the doctors was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." They said, "All right, like we noticed that you're really excited." It came out to be that when I was released, they said that my heart rate was over 200, and I was strapped to the bed. I couldn't move. How is my heart rate over 200 when I can't move? That's insane. So um through that experience, and it was just a few days before my birthday, my friend Denisha said, "Hey, read the Bible, go to Bible study with me, get right with God." And that moment on is when I let God in, and this journey of different tests and growth started to happen. I was well over 330 pounds at that time. I'm 157. I
Wow.
turned my life around in 1 year. I lost 160 pounds in 1 year. You know, going on tour, all these different things happening.
God.
That is my testimony. There is no way.
Was
So
you, was you naturally 350?
no, I just ate a lot and I was just not right. I just wasn't right. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't doing anything like really healthy or constructive. I kind of let myself go. And especially after my brother passed away and it's COVID, and I'm really about to do anything constructive.
Mm. So you balloon. So we love, we hate.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about?
We love, we hate. That's about my paranoia. Um, in yeah, in short, that's just about my paranoia and my lack of distrust for people. It doesn't matter like how long I've known someone. It's again that LA mentality of like everyone's out to get you and stuff like that. one of my favorite albums that I've really been resonating with a lot lately is Me Against the World by Pac. That's like damn near a guideline for like people that are feeling like I'm feeling, as if the world is out to get you constantly. You know, whether it is the music industry or the people that you're around or the politics of the street or even like government politics. So yeah, in short, yeah, We Love, We Hate is about my paranoia and my struggles with it.
Black Boy Cry. Fuck you, bitch. We going up.
Hi. Yeah, Sincerely a Black Boy's Cry. So, you know, that paranoia, right? When what I've noticed, well, where I'm from, not able to pinpoint our emotions and express our emotions properly. Again, what's some of the things that we go to first? It might be the weed, or we might go out and rob a nigga. Or some cases, people might go out and kill a nigga. Mm-hmm. And so that song is a representation of, I don't know what to do with my emotions, so I'm gonna go out and wild and cause chaos. And for me, that is giving honor. You said what?
No, I said I can relate.
Yeah. And like, for me, like, I don't consider myself a violent person, but if I'm in a situation like I told y'all about earlier where I got into that street fight, I won't hesitate to knock a nigga out. But like, that song is a representation of how I felt after like my pops passed away and after my cousin passed away this year, and so many different things that's going on to where I didn't have an outlet. So like the first half of the song, talking about pulling a drive-by and shit, if you notice in the lyrics, I said, say I'm still tripping for crying all the time. Say I'm still tripping being down on my mind. Like, people think that you tripping because you want to cry and that you feeling depressed and whatnot. And you want to share those tears with people or share that you're depressed because they might look at you like a weirdo because they don't know how to deal with their emotions. So that's the first half. That little interlude was about me getting robbed at 12 years old. And in the background, you'll hear like some blood saying, oh yeah, who's blood over there? Like, oh, he 12 years old. Well, fuck all that. We're gonna get his ass anyway. And like, you also hear my dad talking. That's my dad's last voicemail he ever left me. Wow. And so the voicemail is representing now I'm in the world by myself and my dad isn't here. I gotta fend for myself. I gotta get myself up. And then that transitions to the second part where I'm like screaming like, fuck you, bitch, we going up high. Like, I'm not letting none of this shit like tear me down. I'm recognizing like what's around me and I'm taking note. Product of battering rams, get on the flow, square up, bitch, I'm kicking the dough. Like, that's South Central LA. They bang down our doors with battering rams over suspecting that we have drugs. Suspecting, not a definite, oh, I know. And, you know, so yeah, that song is a representation of internal violence and not knowing what to do with the anger.
I can relate. That's my shit. Fuck you, bitch. We going up. Shout out to the real. That's my shit. So talk about what's next, man. Talk about I want to talk about the release too, but talk about what's next, man.
Okay. So what we got going up next? We're going international again. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is, but we
tell us what it is. Why you can't tell us? It ain't set in stone yet.
Oh no, it's set in stone. It's set in stone. I just I got a breadcrumb, y'all. I can't give y'all everything. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna get some extra. I recorded. I don't know albums this year. But y'all gonna get another one very soon. Um, and yeah, just gonna keep working. We gonna surprise y'all. We gonna continue to surprise y'all. So
Release. Oh man.
the release, part 1 or part 2?
Just break it down. Go from part one. Start from part one.
Part 1. I rapped over the Roots Piece of Light beat. The Roots is one of my favorite groups. That album is crazy. How I Got Over, man, that's my favorite album from them. That came out in 2010. But yeah, I rapped over that, and I've written that in like 2 days. And it was a little after my pops passed away. And much like my experience after having COVID and getting out of the hospital, people was coming up to me saying like, protect your heart, protect your heart. And it was the most strangest of things, because like it was strangers coming up to me in the street saying like, protect your heart. And then friends randomly coming up to me and telling me to protect my heart. And so I decided, like, I got so much built up in me, I need to like let this out. And I didn't give a fuck, like, yo, like, I ain't gonna put a hook on this shit. I'm gonna say what I want, and what I want, nobody's not gonna, nah. And so I rapped for 3 minutes straight over that Roots beat, and it's some of the hardest shit I ever written, because it's authentic, it's real, and it's my story.
Mm.
So the first part is about reconciling with my brothers, because my brothers in in my old music group, because when we broke up, things went downhill when it came to our personal relationships with each other. And it took for one of their fathers to pass away. Actually, one of their fathers passed away in January, right before my dad passed away, to reconcile. And so I talked about my role in the situation, of how I was really immature as to how I went about things, and how I could have done better as a man. And yeah, just that friendship. And then I talked a little bit about my relationship, the abusive relationship. And I also talked about this crazy situation a day after my pop's birthday, on July 28th. No, not July, January 28th,
Shout
where,
out to the real. That's my birthday.
hey, what's up? What's up? Okay,
What's
okay. um, yeah, my pops is on the 27th. But yeah, this story happened, yeah, the day after, on the 28th. Um, like, this dude in my neighborhood, I was just walking down the street. This dude in my neighborhood, like, was following me off, and I flicked him off, and I kept it pushing. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then he pulled up into this parking lot that's like next to me, and was waiting for me to come to the car. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like bother with dude. I'm gonna keep going. Keep going. He was He drives up next to me, and then pulls up. Damn, can't hear me?
You back.
Can't hear me?
You
Okay.
back.
Now we can.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna restart with the story. Well, on that day, January 28th, this dude was following me in my neighborhood, and he pulled up next to me and flicked me off. And I was like, the fuck was that? And like, I flicked him off, and I kept it pushing. And then he pulled up in a like parking lot next to me, and was waving for me to come to the car. And I'm like, the fuck? So I kept walking. Then he pulled out of the parking lot and pulled up to the side of me and like try to cut me off in a like this driveway that's in front of me. And I took off running in the middle of the street. And before I knew it, I'm in like a whole ass chase, like a few blocks with this dude following me in his car. And then like I called my folks like, yo, what the fuck, this dude is following me. And then like, and this is again a testimony as to how real my dad is. My dad, old ass man, could barely walk. When I called him, all I heard was a thump on the floor. He grabbed his shotgun, and then when I get in on my street, he out there with a shotgun in the middle of the street. You know, and this is an old ass man. He could barely walk. He could barely stand on his own. He out there in the middle of the street with a gun.
Mm.
So, yeah, I talked about that situation on the release part one, and then like my jobs, and shit like that. So that's the release part one that came out in March. Part two is about my relationships. How people are fickle, and when I announced like my Switzerland performance dates, everybody's like, oh, we always believed in you and da da da, or I want to come with you and shit like that. And it's like, where was y'all when all this other shit was going on? And then I talked about that abusive relationship even more. And also relationships with women that I had over the summer. I was in a polyamorous relationship. And
Wow. What's good with that?
Man.
Functional. We need to know.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Why was it a nightmare?
I was in a relationship with 3 women. One on the West Coast. No. One in my city. One. Oh damn! I can't out the other one because it's a small. Okay, yeah. Let's just say 2 on the West Coast. One was like really long distance from where I live, and then the other one was in New York. And
you had to make your rounds like that?
I met all of them in LA. Like that's just kind of, it just happened like that randomly. Like as soon as the that other relationship ended, like one of them I went out with like to dinner somewhere, and they was like, hey, I used to have feelings for you. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, what do we do with this? Started dating. A week or 2 later, met a girl from New York. She approached me, hey, like, I'm interested in you. Oh, just like that. It just, I swear to you. The first girl was like, nothing will ever happen unless we're in a polyamorous. It's worked out for me. She's in New York. And then I met another one on the road.
Hold up. Nothing had ever happened. That's what we lost you at. One girl was like, nothing ever happened unless we're in the poly.
Okay. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, one girl was like, nothing will ever happen unless we're in like a polyamorous like dynamic. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then next week I met a girl from New York, and then that's kind of how that happened. Like she approached me, and then I met another girl on the road, and that's it. It just happened like that. Like I can't make it up. Like I'm not out here like big pimping or none of that shit. Like I barely date. No. Like I don't know. Hey, I'm a lover boy. I'm big simping right here. I'm big simping, not big pimping. But I mean, right now I am in a relationship. She's great. But yeah.
Hold up. Because you told us, you know what I'm saying, you still working things out with Shorty.
Working things out with being a friend.
Oh, being a friend.
Yeah, we're reconciling, trying to be friends.
But the person you with now, y'all cool.
Yeah, the person that I with dealing with now, like we are in a relationship. Like that's set in stone,
Ain't nothing
everything.
wrong with loving all your girls, man.
Oh no, I am not. I'm not ashamed of it. We're still polyamorous. Me and the girl that I'm with now, we're in a polyamorous relationship.
Well, shit, you got a good life then.
Shit, nigga. Who said this is good life, man? Hey, but she's great. She's great. Hey, hey,
Talk
hey, I
about the
love you
negative.
too.
Tell me the negative parts,
So the negative
downside.
is so many different personalities that you gotta
Oh,
learn in different bodies that you gotta learn. And like you gotta understand that people don't speak the same language that you do. Everybody comes from different places, everybody has different stories, and that's something that you gotta honor and respect.
mm,
So for example, two girls, one of them was like, hey, I need my space. And then the other one's like, hit me up all the time. I'm really busy. So that I know that you're there. And then like the third one is kind of like wishy-washy and like in the middle of all that. So it's a lot of like gymnastics of like oh you you gotta really gotta be focused. You gotta be real focused unless like you're gonna get yourself into some shit that you just not prepared for. And so when I was in the middle of it, I'm like, damn, am I really mentally prepared to be doing with all this? I I just went through a couple deaths. I just got off a tour and I'm still performing. I'm still working. I'm working this project. I'm working this EP. I don't have time to be chasing down people like that. Like it's either you here or you not.
mm.
And so that's what became like the so it really depends on who you getting in relationships with, and like understanding that communication is like the most important thing.
Right. Right. So let me ask you something. While you're dealing with this grief, you know what I'm saying? How do you deal with it? Because you talk about all this grief, you know what I'm saying? How do you deal with it? And what kind of advice for being a black man in America and mental health, being that we deal with a lot of grief, we deal with a lot of pressure, we deal with a lot of you can't go to nobody, you can't tell them how you feel, and you can't tell them, you can't cry, you can't let it out. And it's a dangerous place for a black man to be, especially internally. So what advice do you got?
um it's not linear. It's gonna zigzag. One day you're gonna feel like the greatest, the next day you're gonna feel like shit. And with that, you gotta give yourself a lot of patience and grace. um you gotta understand that again, every day is gonna be something different. And you gotta learn to stay calm in the middle of like the chaos. For myself, I turned to vices when everything was going on. And I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I found myself getting a couple glasses of alcohol while in the club with some homies of mine. And I always told my friends, like, yo, if you ever see me with alcohol again, slap that shit out of my hand or just take the cup because I don't need it. And I know that's when I'm no longer Chris, is when I'm indulging in those vices. That's not me. And so it was that I had a lust issue at a point, and I overcame that. And I have a really, really bad work addiction. Right now, I'm still battling my work addiction. So when I'm feeling like really, really down, I kind of thrust myself into work, whether it's writing a song, making a beat, or making future plans for other performances. Like literally, I performed, if not every week, every other week this year. That's how bad my work addiction got. even like on the off season of not touring, I'm performing around LA. I'm doing something. So it's learning how to rest. We don't know how to rest as Black men. We don't know, because like we see our folks, the older generation, hustle and get to it every day. Like I saw my dad working every single day, getting up at 3 a.m., getting off at 3 o'clock, and getting to my school at 3:45. I never saw him rest. Shit, even when he literally like a few months before he passed, he was like, "Hey, Chris, don't tell your mama I want to go back to work." And I'm like, "You don't sit your old ass down." And like, so.
And you know what? America, I've seen something on the internet today. America gets you like that. And they got that said in the Quran, you know what I'm saying? Pray you now because life will take everything from you and you have no time to pray. You have no time for the things you love. You know what I'm saying? It'll take your mind. America will take you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I talked about life in other countries, and some people talk about why they like living in other countries versus America. And they talked about the prices, the money you got to spend, the rent, and you got to keep working. You got to keep working, and it drains the life out of you to the point that's all you're doing. You're not even living life. You're not even enjoying, you know what I'm saying, your fruits of your labor, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because either you're working, your mind is on the next thing you got to do, the next project, the thing you got to pay, trying to do this, trying to do that, and you just never enjoy any of it. So it's a beautiful thing when you can build your life to a place where you can enjoy some of this life that we have. Because in America, they make it hard for you to enjoy any of this shit, especially when you're Black and you're coming from behind.
Yep. They call that chasing the carrot. You're always chasing that.
And they keep you like that. And it's sad. It's the truth. It's actually the truth. You know what I'm saying? You see people in prison, they be like, oh, you come home all religious. Da, da, da. No, you just had time. You just had time to get into that stuff. You get into America and you're not grounded. That should take you away from that. Everything in America, everything in this life is designed to take you away from your center. You know what I'm saying? And it happens. And we talk down upon it. Oh, what about now? It's not hard to get caught up in this world out here. It's very easy to get caught up in this shit if you're not centered and grounded. And a lot of us are not, because we got people, we got family, we got false expectations. We got everything telling us we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to go here, we got to go here, we should go this, we got to be able to buy this, we got to be able to do that. And it keeps you like this all the time. It's very unfortunate, man. So talk about what keeps you grounded. Like you said, you have a work addiction, and how do you bring it back?
I'm still figuring it out. I'm still a work in progress. Again, like when these victories happen, I give it to God. I just keep saying like, all right, that's God. Keep working through me, and I keep it pushing. With the work addictions, I'm trying my best to rest more. Like even like my manager, like Felix, keeps saying like, all right, bro, I'm gonna need you to like just at least like once a week, just chill out. Don't do nothing. And like I'm trying to like not do anything. But it's hard. It's hard because like it's hard because like at least doing those things, it takes my mind off the negativity. But the crazy thing is that we have a choice. Every day when we get out of bed, we have a choice to think about or to put our energy towards something. So if my mind is going towards negativity, I'm choosing that negativity. It doesn't matter if it's subconsciously, I'm putting my energy towards that. Why am I putting my energy towards that? And that's the issue that I need to figure it out.
Shout out to the real.
So
who is Chris Siders? Give me one word or one sentence.
Chris Siders is a part of God.
All right. So how do you feel about people in this world? One word, one sentence.
People are part of God too.
How do you see the world?
Damn. How I see the world. The world is beautiful and chaotic at the same time.
And what's a perfect day for Chris Siders? You can give me more than one word on that one.
Shit, perfect day for Chris Siders. Man, if I could have anything happen, just chill, watch the 49er game with my pops.
That's love. Chad, you got something?
What makes Chris Siders happy?
I don't know. I get that question a lot. I honestly don't know.
In this music industry, what pisses you off?
Fake people. Fake people that want something out of you because your status is growing. It's not a genuine love.
I'll tell you the truth, as you get older, it starts to feel like nothing is genuine, to be honest. It's like you got to be able to be used in some capacity. And that's something I'm trying to learn, you know what I'm saying, to allow myself to be used for something. And hopefully it's something, you know what I'm saying, good.
What it is I always tell my kids, well, they ain't kids no more, 27 and 21. I hated this word. I always hated this word up until recently because I feel like everybody has this word in them. And the word is opportunist. Some stage of the game, someone is an opportunist for whatever, you know. And I'm trying to understand it more where I don't look at it as a bad thing. Because I used to look at it as a bad thing. But it's nothing wrong with being an opportunist for the right situations, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you know, if it's about opportunity, it's about opportunity. You know, there's a mutual, we can both be in it for opportunity. But
Right.
when it comes to, you know,
one-sided, probably.
And it comes to having a dark heart or doing something with cruel intentions or evil intent, it's like they say the intention is what really matters in anything. So when you're doing shit with ill intent, that's where the shit is no longer good at. But you could be an opportunist in a good way. You can, you know, see opportunity and take it. That don't mean you want to hurt somebody or leave somebody, you know, for dead or stab them in the back or, you know what I'm saying? You can preach, you know, teamwork and then, you know what I'm saying, be like, fuck the team when the dream is succeed. You reach your point where you succeed at. So it's different takes on things. It's all about having pure intentions and whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Whether you with your lady trying to get some booty or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have pure intentions with it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, just what it was, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing crazy about that. Ain't nothing ill about that. Shout out to the real. Shout out to the fake. Shout out to that movie chick. She better stay in her place. Get in line. Chris Siders, hold up. I need you to plug your shit in. Tell everybody what's going on. And give me a shout out to the real, highly dysfunctional.
For sure. Yo.
I hope you don't break up.
You tapped into highly Yo, what's good? Shout out to the real. Know what I'm saying? Instagram at the Chris Siders, TheChrisSidrs. Tap in with me. Damn, it just went out again. That's crazy.
Don't worry.
It just went out again.
I'm going to
That's
enjoy
crazy.
it because it was such a good conversation. I get to punch in where you cut off at, and we're going to fix this whole thing, and it's going to be real good. I'm going to put all your music and shit in there, so it's going to be great. So listen, you got to do it one more time, though, because I want that part to be clear.
Yeah.
When I reintroduce.
Oh, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Yo, shout out to the real Highly Dysfunctional podcast. You know what it is. It's your boy Chris Sider, straight out of South Central Los Angeles. You know how we do. Los Angeles Lakers all day, every day. Tap in with me on Instagram, the Chris Siders, TheChriSsiders on Instagram. You can hit me up about anything at all. My website, chrissiders.com. Real simple. You can check me out on YouTube. We got tons of videos. We got more music videos on the way. Unapologetically, Chris Siders, the EP is out now. Recorded that while I was in Switzerland, in Zurich. Shout out to Dylan Moore for producing, and my guy Nemesis Rigby for producing it as well, and Jay Prince, all native artists from the area. So yeah, 2024 Kobe year. It's gonna get crazy. So let's do it.
I loved it. Like I said, yo, Chris, we're going to fuck it out. We're going to lead this up, but we're going to put it out again next week. Same day, probably Wednesday, though. Give us some time to chop this thing up and make it perfect, which is good because we get to promote a little bit more and reintroduce it. So that's going to be a beautiful thing. Chad the Saga, I'll see you again tomorrow. Chris Silas, I love chopping up with you, baby. It was a great conversation, and I learned a lot about you, and I learned a lot about the way you see music and the way you see life. I appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate you, G.
Shout out to the real. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Get it live, punk.
Let's get.